all love to have more abundance, right? More money, more time, more freedom. I mean, who'd say no to that? But what about if your goal of abundance is in conflict with your desire to help someone or with your obligation to take care of someone else? Is there a way to make that choice? And do you even have to? Stay tuned to today's video and find out. Hey, my happy shiny puppies, this is Melody Fletcher, author of Deliberate Receiving. Finally, the universe makes some freaking sense. And today's LOA question comes from awesome Thais. And I'm really sorry if I butchered your name, but you're still awesome. So awesome Thais writes, what I'd like to clarify is the subject of feeling responsible for other people's financial well-being. For example, I'm only 24 years old, but I feel very deeply responsible for supporting my mom, especially since I got an education and now I earn more than she does. I live with her and she doesn't seem to care much about improving her own finances, not like I do. I think this question might also apply for people who have children. So how can I reach for my financial freedom without being selfish and depriving her of a better life? I realize this has a limiting belief underneath, of course, but I'd like to balance my strong desire to be wealthy for myself and my fear of being selfish, ungrateful, and to hurt a person so important, such as my mom, as I understand that working towards wealth involves some sacrifices. Well, awesome, Thais. Yeah, there's some limiting beliefs in here. So let's take a look at some of those, yeah? So first of all, why do you accept that working towards wealth involves sacrifices, particularly in the way that you mean sacrifice, yeah? Which means that, maybe you think you're going to have to ramen noodle it for a few years, or you're going to have to, live with your mom for a few years in order to get your wealth up. Those are limiting beliefs. What makes you think that the universe doesn't have some other path you could take to make those things happen, or to allow those things to happen, which is a much more accurate way of putting it. Another belief in there is that it's your obligation now to take care of your mother. It is not. It might be your desire to take care of her, but it is not your obligation. If you start to look at obligations as things that, let's say somebody is putting a gun to your head and they're forcing you to do it, they're chaining you to a radiator, then maybe you can call that an obligation, something I have to do, or they're going to put a bullet in my brain. And most of the time when people say, I have to do this, it has that heaviness about it, that kind of energy about it, when in fact it is not something they have to do. It is something that they want to do or think they have to do for some reason. And it's usually a means to an end. So it's not even something they want to do. It's something that they think will bring about something that they want. So in your case, your desire is for your mother to be financially abundant, for your mother to have an easy life. And I've got some really tough love news for you here. That's not up to you. You can't manifest in your mother's reality. No one can. So, you said here that she doesn't seem to be all that interested in her financial well-being. So who are you to come in there and say that she should be? Who are you to come in there and say she's living her life wrong? And that if only she could focus differently and get some more money in there, then she would be better off. And I know that you don't think you're doing that, but you are. But then you're interjecting something else. And you're saying, now, because you're unwilling or unable to do that, I have to do it. And now you're making yourself responsible for her well-being and in the narrowly defined way in which you've decided to look at it. And all that's ever going to do is breed resentment, because it isn't going to work. You're not going to make her financially better off than she can manifest with her vibration. And when you inevitably fail to do something that she can't attract, when you inevitably fail to defy her vibration, so to speak, you're going to resent her. But what really went wrong here, is that you made yourself responsible for bringing about the outcome in her life that you decided was the right one. And yes, you're absolutely right. This totally applies to parents. We so often do this with people that we care deeply about. We decide the goal, where they should go, and then we try to drag them there kicking and screaming, and it never, ever, ever freaking works. So here's what you want to do instead. Number one, understand that your financial freedom, your wealth, is not going to come to you at the expense of your mother's. Why the hell would it? Why would the universe set it up like that? Why would you set it up like that? Why would you choose that? I would say make a different decision. Yeah? Let them be independent of each other. That doesn't mean that you don't have to get rid of your desire for your mother to have a good life. But second of all, let that desire unfold in the way that she can handle, in the way that it matches what she wants, in the way that it matches what she believes she can have. Now, you do that by allowing yourself to imagine your mother having the life that allows you to feel good, knowing full well that what you're doing in that moment is lining yourself up with a version of your mother that feels good. And let that look however it's going to look for her. So visualize in whatever way you want to, in whatever way it looks good, and in whatever way it feels good to you. But then sort of divorce yourself from how exactly that has to look, because who cares as long as she's really happy. So instead of saying, I see her as financially well off and therefore happy, just see her as happy. Just see her as light. Just see her as worry-free. See her as secure. See her as abundant, which is so much more than money. Take that middleman out and trust her to find her way there. Because when you line up with that outcome and you feel how good that feels in your heart, then you have lined up with the energy of who she really is. And trust that she is being guided there. But also honor her path. Don't just get in there and say, the path that you're walking is obviously wrong. You're not very good at this. That's really condescending and arrogant. Yeah? Honor the path that she's on. And this goes the same for parents. Honor the path that your children are on. Trust them. And no, this is not going to be easy. When you really care about somebody and you have made yourself responsible for their well-being, stepping into this different mindset feels a lot better, but is not easy. You're going to have to be a little bit vigilant that you don't constantly fall back into old habits, at least in the beginning. Yeah? Then go ahead and focus on your own wealth, on what feels good to you, and also, once again, trust that it will unfold in the perfect way for you. And then all you got to do is follow the path that opens up for you. Trust the path that opens up for you. And here's the thing. If you're on a really good path, good feeling path, because you have hooked up with a really good feeling goal, and remember that the goal and the path must feel the same. They always feel the same. Then how in the hell is this really good feeling path going to involve you screwing your mother over? Does that feel good, the idea of screwing your mother over? No, it does not. So why would that be part of a good feeling path? That doesn't make any sense. So once you understand energy, you understand that this good feeling path, truly lighting your heart up feeling path, is never going to involve you stomping over bodies of any kind. And that's why you don't have to be afraid of your own power. That's why you don't have to be afraid of your own light. That's why you don't have to be afraid that by truly moving towards what you want in this aligned, aware way that I teach, you are ever going to do any harm. You're not. Why? Because doing harm doesn't feel good to you. And so therefore cannot be part of a really good feeling path. So I just gave you, I know, about 3 times as much as you asked for in your mail, but exactly as much as you asked for with your energy. I hope that all made sense. If you would like to ask a question of your own, then please come over to deliberatereceiving.com, join the Happy Shiny Puppy Army, ask your own question, get involved in the conversation with a group of conscious, powerful creators who cannot wait to meet you. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!